You know, memories don't leave like people do, they always stay with you, and memories we'll continue to have indelibly of a late Grenadian Calypsonian Timpo who passed away just over the Memorial Day weekend tragically. Late Memorial Night, May 25th, the art form of Calypso lost one of its illustrious sons in Randolph Thomas Timpo from Grenada, who, together with his friend Cortland Hannibal, were killed by a passing car while they were changing a tire on Timpo's car. This happened in the borough of Queens in New York. The Grenada Calypso world was indeed shocked at the sudden passing of Timpo, who took Grenada's Calypso by storm in 1981 when he won the Calypso Monarch and Road March titles convincingly. Timpo's and Cortland Hannibal's families decided to fly the bodies home for burial, so it was natural that a funeral service be held in Brooklyn before departure for Grenada. Last week, Friday, May 29th, Timpo's family, pairs, friends and general mourners domiciled in New York congregated at the St. Francis of Assisi Church in Brooklyn to pay their last respects to Timpo and his friend Cortland. Just a few feet away from the church, Calypsonians and friends accompanied the cortege to the church steps. The pallbearers then proceeded to enter the church. People from all sections of the Grenadian and West Indian communities were on hand for the service. Grenada's Consul General, Mark Isaac, represented the government of Grenada. It was a moving ceremony with Timpo's life as a Calypsonian being highlighted. When Timpo won the Monarch and Road March titles in 1981, it was at the beginning of a new era of Grenada's Calypso. At that time, Grenadians had already endorsed Flying Turkey and the Black Wizard as the Calypsonians to carry Grenada's Calypso to the pinnacle of success. But with the entrance of Timpo in the local Hall of Fame, Grenadians' confidence in the art form was further heightened. The Youthquake folk group of Grenada sang their songs of praise. It was indeed a feeling of loss at the St. Francis of Assisi Church. After the ceremony, the Calypsonians and some friends had this to say about Timpo.
Well, PYSADEE, to be truthful, I'm very, very much sorry of what happened because Timpo is a very good friend of mine. In fact, I must say that I'll be singing a topic this year. I'll be singing a calypso. The topic was given to me by Timpo, which is very good. also, I'll be performing with a costume this year, and it was sold also by Yardan. What a coincidence.
Yeah, well, PYSADEE, Timpo's death really a shock to me, and I really feel it personally because of myself and Timpo background. We went to school together at GBSS, and you know, we are very good friends. We came here together in 1982. We started working together, doing demolition, and during lunch breaks and things, we used to be singing calypso and making ourselves merry and things, you know. So Timpo is very, very close to me. I think it's a very, you know, a bad way that he went, and a shock to everybody out here. And we all really feel it for him, wherever he is now.
Well, that's a great loss, PYSADEE. You know, Timpo responsible for a lot of Calypsonian out of Grenada. I'm one of the person, because if you know, when Timpo singing, I never started, and Timpo had a great influence on me. His mild, calm way that he go about things, and if you realize that Jambo is a kind of calm guy too, that's something from Timpo. Timpo was a great guy. May his soul rest in peace.
Timpo was a close friend to me, and like he was sometimes like a teacher or father. He used to guide me along the way. And as you know, we did a lot of stuff together. Like last year in the independence competition, when I asked him, you know, his opinion about my song, and he told me I had a good chance of winning, and I did win. And as you know, we had to do some backup for you and everything like that, you know. Timpo will be missed, you know. The Grenada Anthem really missed somebody. He was a legend, and we will miss him.
I feel so sad. It's like losing a brother. I remember when he just started playing guitar, I taught him to play the guitar in a hostel. And in fact, the night before he died, the three of us were together. And I mean, it was so sad to hear that he died that morning that, I mean, I couldn't believe I was in tears, and it was, oh man, we just lost a great one. We just lost a great one. We just lost a great one.
Yeah, well, I love Timpo a lot, you know, and Timpo is one of the artists, you know, who really inspired me, you know, and give me the confidence to right now to sing, and right now I'm going to sing more than ever right now, you know.
Well, I'd like to recognize Timpo, aside from cultural achievements, as a human being with a great persona. He was gentle, he was mild, he always carried a smile. And culturally he achieved a lot, but also as a human being. He made great contributions to people. He was always willing to help, and ever since I've known him, he's been a great guy. He'll be greatly missed.
You know, I remember once someone told me that it's not the conceivement of a child that makes the child yours, it's the acceptance. And over the past years, I've accepted Timpo and Cortland as my children. And I remember that I gave away Timpo at that very same church when he got married. And only last Saturday night we were together and we discussed a lot of things. And it hurts me to see both of them had to live on this with the untimely death. But the Lord knows best. So I want to wish them all the best and God's blessing on the family of both Timpo and Cortland. May they rest in peace.
Well, it's a sad day for Grenadians as a whole, and mainly for the culture of Grenada. Because Timpo has been one of the inspiration for many young Calypsonians. I remember having Timpo perform for me in 1983 after he won the Monarch, brought him up here for Grenada's independence. And what he really did to New York was more or less show the light of New Yorkers here what kind of stuff we have in Grenada. I know that many of the other Calypsonians have looked to Timpo as a lot of fatherly figure because of his experience in the culture and his coolness about it. I, for one, as a promoter, will sorely miss Timpo because at no time I asked him to perform any shows as regards to culture and with regards to calypso singing in Grenada. He never really refused. I really would miss him. I do hope that some other Grenadians would learn from his example. And I say it's a sad day for the culture and a sad day for Grenada and the Caribbean as a whole, as Timpo is gone.
Well, when I first heard the news about Timpo, I was shocked. I just couldn't believe it. I lost a friend. I lost somebody I've worked with, which I produced his first record back in 1985 when he did Crazy Party. And up to now, I can't believe that Timpo left us. But I know for the short time he has been with us, he has left his mark on the cultural aspect of Grenada and all the Calypsonians. And someday we all have to go. But I think his life is an example to us that we should try, as he did, to leave a positive impact on the youths of Grenada.
Well, all I have to say this afternoon, Tempo death was a big shock to me, and I think to all my other friends and my brothers in Calypso. And I would like to tell Tempo friends and family, accept my sympathy, and I hope wherever he is, he rests in peace.
Personally, my first impression would be that Tempo struck me as a person that was very caring and he was very humorous, and I think it's a loss as a fellow Calypsonian because he had a special way of bringing out the best in like other people, and I'm just shocked. But that's life, and there's nothing that we can do about it. We just got to live with it. So.
Oh boy! When I heard the news, I was so shocked. It's a great loss to Grenadian, a great loss for the Grenada music, and because I think he was one of the guys I looked up to when I started out in music, because he was always an inspiration to me. And I was so shocked and sad when I heard that. I could hardly stay in a church this evening because I wanted to cry.
Well, Harold, going back to 1985 when TV's production was conceived, Tempo came to my assistant to put on the very first show, and I was very much impressed because when I left Grenada in '78, he had just started with the Moss International tent, and at that time he was getting into the swing of things, so I didn't know much about him in the Calypso world back home, but he came to my assistance in '85 and he stayed with me right through the end.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. No one could really expected, your lifespan, but when it really happened, so sudden. But all I can say, when I knew this brother, the brother did what he can to help the culture back in Grenada and out here in New York. 2 weeks ago I met Tempo and he said to me, Bob, for Carnival 1992, I'm working on something. We're going to the recording studio. We're working on something new. He's coming up with something hot. And when we talked, when the tragic story, when I called you that early Tuesday morning and you told me, up till now I'm still in shock. But as someone that Grenada, Carriacou and Petite Martinique would miss the world, the Caribbean community in New York, we all will miss him and we all will love him. I just can't get over it.